Yeah, what's up, people? Solar Baba in the building again. Welcome to my channel. If you are a new if you're a new viewer, kindly subscribe to my channel. Press the like button and comments after watching this video. So today I'll be addressing a couple of Franklin's video. I am a subscriber to his channel. I'm a big fan. So I'll be addressing an issue about why Nigerians abroad or Nigerians or Africans in diaspora get fleeced, scammed, and extorted unnecessarily by their family. And to the extent that their family members still go ahead, not just by fleecing them alone, but also trying to harm them and bring them to the ground level financially after extorting them and exploiting them financially. And the reason for this is simply self-esteem and power. A second. So the reason for this being self-esteem and power is that before I dive into that, this thing, there's been a lot of complaint about this on by Franklin's subscribers and fans. They complain to him, then he go on video and address it and tell the people, don't trust your family, keep be tight with your finances, do this and that. Nice advice, by the way. But the point is that I think people need to know. I don't like the way I'm saying that, pimples on my face. Well, anyway, so the fact is that there is more to this thing, and I think people need to know why that thing is actually happening, so that and this case might present itself severally. It can present itself in various forms, in various shapes. So if they only know just a way to tackle the problem, right, that which means if their enemies or their families who actually want to harm them and who want to spoil their life and attack them, you know the attack is usually, it's not a physical attack. It is about a sort of mental manipulation, to manipulate them to do the things that will be catastrophic for them at the end. So, well, let's leave that aside. The reason for this thing is the reason why family members at home in Africa usually exploit and extort and fleece Africans in diaspora of their money, their hard-earned money, is just to build up their self-esteem. Yes, ask me why. A lot of people used to think it is because they want to. It is because they want to, and a lot of people would think, okay, it is because they want to extort you of your money so that they can use it for their personal gain. Of course, they are going to use it for their personal gain, right? But that is not the goal. I'm telling you, that's not the goal. That's not the mission. That is not the major point. That's not what they actually want to achieve. What they want to achieve is to dim your shine and to portray your family in such a way that you are staying abroad, you are not the glory of the family and you are not the one outshining every other person. Being in a better country, of course, you have more probability and you have more possibility and opportunity to do better than the people at home. Of course, being in a better country, you have less issues to deal about. You are getting a better pay, right? Even though, yeah, of course, you probably will be getting a better pay. And there are some people who are actually working in Nigeria and they are doing better than people abroad, right? But most probably, most of the times, the factors that will make you do better than the people at home are more than the factors that will make the people in Nigeria or people in Africa as a whole to do better than someone living in America or in Europe or in Canada or whatever. So the point now is that, how is it their self-esteem? You see, in every social milieu, in every social circle, be it a family, be it a circle of friends, maybe you have 4 friends or 5 friends that you usually do almost the same thing together, and it might not just be the same. You might not be doing the same thing together, but you hang around together, you talk, do all these things together. That's a social circle. Your family is a social circle. Your state is a social circle. Your country is a social circle. Mm? A set of people that you reason along with each other the same way. And you have some common activities and common orientation, mode of thinking that you use together, and that is actually what is actually binding you people together, right? Anybody who tries to, before we talk about outshining, in every social circle, there's usually one person that we can call the big dog, who will be outshining others, and he will be the decision maker and will be the leader of that social circle, right? And usually, I can say 97% of the time, the people who happens to be the big dog of such social groups, they are usually jealous and will do anything to bring down the person who tries to outshine them, right? You are not, even when the person doesn't mean any harm or any disrespect. For example, let's say you have a friend. Let's say you have a friend now. You have a friend. Let's say you have 4 friends, right? You are doctors together. You're working together, right? But partly you are engaging in politics. And you are not the big dog of the world's name. You are not the one that you are not the outspoken one. You are not the confident one. You are not the alpha male. Yes, let me put it that way. Right? You are not the alpha male of the social circle. You might be an alpha male to yourself, right? But you are not the alpha of that social circle who lords over every other person, right? And everybody bows to him, and it doesn't have to be physical bow. And they don't have to call you brother or something or uncle. No. You might be of the same age mates, right? But we all know that there's this person that almost everyone in that social circle have regard for, and whatever he says is final most of the time. So that's the alpha person. That's the big dog of that social circle. So, according to as I'm illustrating, you are 4 of you are doctors and you are engaging in politics. You are not the big dog, but you are engaging in politics. The person who is the big dog of that social circle, or the alpha male of that social circle, will see a probability that with that politics you are doing, you might end up, right, moving. You might end up becoming a doctor that is bigger than that social circle. Others are just let's say doctors without residency, without any specialist certification, or or residency certification or anything, right? Just MBBS, whatever, right? Then you engage in politics. They know probably you might end up becoming a commissioner for health, or special assistant to the governor on health, or a minister for health. And they know, or let me say the big dog of the world's name, know that he doesn't have that quality, and he is not engaging or planning toward anything that can get him to where you want to get yourself to. What will he start doing? It will start putting you in problems directly and indirectly. Putting you into problems. For example, that person can come and say, okay, a client comes to me for some illicit medical practices, right? When actually no patients actually come to him for any kind of for such kind of favor, but he will do that to put your hand in something that will be catastrophic to your career. Then you will think you are trying to help a friend, then you help that friend, and he will actually be the one to call the authorities on you, and you might lose your license at the end of the day. That is just an illustration. That is just the illustration, the perfect illustration. And once you lose your license, you can't be a doctor in that social milieu anymore. And as well, you can't be a minister for health, or commissioner for health, or special advisor to the governor or president on health and healthcare and well-being. You can never be anymore. He stays and remains the alpha male of that social circle. Let's say while he was planning that evil for you, then he's able to extort some money off you, right? That money, of course, you're going to enjoy the money, but he's not doing that thing to you because of your money. He's doing it to you because he's jealous of you. He's jealous of your potentials. That is it. That's the point. At times you will be addressing yourself like, but I don't have anything. Why are these people hating on me? Why is this person trying to frustrate my life? I don't have anything. This person is doing better than me. No, that person is seeing the potential that you might end up doing better. Then they try to sabotage everything that can get you to that target and goal. You actually don't mean to outshine him unnecessarily. You're actually just trying to get a better life for yourself. But it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. That's the problem. So, and additionally, when things like this happens, when the big dog of a society or a social circle is against you, every other person in that social circle will go against you as well. I'm not through with my illustration. But a lot of people who have been in the shoes of their families conspiring against them will be able to resonate and reason along with what I'm explaining already. So everyone in that social circle will comply and will be mimicking the actions of the top dog, of that alpha male, of that man that makes all the decision. They don't want to know whether whatever he is doing is right or wrong. Everything he does, they follow suit. So that is how someone gets ejected from a social circle whenever you're trying to do, if you will notice this, whenever you're trying to do a new thing, to make a better life for yourself, right? The social circle that you are, they conspire against you. They will conspire against you. Why? Because they know that you are on the journey of being bigger than that social circle, right? And they start having that feeling of insecurity and low self-esteem, which is not supposed to be. But it is not their fault. It is the fault of the big dog. It is the fault of the leader of that social circle. It is the fault of that person that oversee the affairs of that social circle. And they are going to, start antagonizing you, inflicting pains on you until you either disappear out of that social circle or you die. So this thing that I've just explained is the same thing that's applied to whatever is going on in any family. When your family conspire against you, your mom and dad conspire against you. Some people used to think, when you tell people who have never experienced this thing, they'll be saying, no, you must have done something wrong for your parents to conspire against you. Ha 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 ha. They don't know anything. It happens a lot. Okay, so relating this illustration to family issues, family conspiring against you to exploit you, family conspiring against you to destroy the things you have built for yourself, to destroy the empire you have built, the business you have built, the big bank account balance, finances you have spent years building. Your family coming together to join hands to destroy you and bring you down. It's not their fault. It is the fault of the decision maker of that family. The decision maker doesn't have to be your dad, doesn't have to be your mom. The decision maker might be an elder brother or an elder sister. But usually, if you are a man, a decision maker or the alpha person, or let me say the big dog of that social circle that is going to antagonize you, that is going to be antagonizing you, is usually not going to be an opposite sex. Why? I don't know, but that's how it works. The best theorem. That's how it works, and it never changed. Most of the times, if you are a man and your family is conspiring against you, right, it is never your elder sister or your younger sister that is conspiring against you. So if you are a woman as well, if you are a lady, your elder sister can conspire against you, your elder brother can conspire against you. That's the problem. That's the problem. And at times, I'm not saying all the time, when women are leaders, they don't get to do this thing. They do these things, right? But when they are easily, you can easily defeat them. And as well, they have a lot of distractions in their life. They have a lot of men distracting them from focusing on trying to hold the power of a family. It is too small of a thing to hold on and spend your life trying to hold on to, right? So women usually lack that strength to do that problem, except doing it to other females who are their younger sisters and elder aunties and shit like that, that they can only bring down. Why? Because they're having the same strength and ability and time and attention. Because to hold on to power, you need attention. So it is just power games. So, and the first law of power, according to Robert Greene, is that never outshine them. I think I'm messing this video up, but if I'm not messing it up, you can keep up. Just keep on listening. I think I'm swerving off point, but I don't think so. But I'm not sure. So, according to what Robert Greene said, never outshine the master. Not only the master. Robert Greene didn't complete it. Never outshine the master and anyone who see himself as the master. Okay? Because they will be having the same feeling. But you don't care. Outshine anyone you wish to outshine. Just be ready for the fight. Just be ready for the fight. Be ready for the fight. Okay? So, to the people who are having issues with their family extorting them and trying to bring them down financially and trying to destroy everything. There was a man that his mom and his brother conspired. They conspired together to scam him of $60,000. I saw this on Frankleen's channel. $60,000, and after 3 years, and after then, under the pretense that they are going to use the money to build a house for him, the guy came back to Nigeria and he couldn't find his house. And they were even trying to hold him down from going abroad. Right? You can see somebody that is sending them no money that they are able to scam. They are able to scam him, right? And if they are actually after his money, they don't need to try to revoke or confiscate his traveling papers from traveling abroad. Why? Because that is where he is getting the money that he is spending on them. But it is not the money that they actually need. All they want is to destroy him and bring him down to the ground level where they can humiliate him, and most probably, maybe the brother is actually the big dog in that social circle of his family, and no matter whom this social the alpha male or the decision maker of the family is, everybody follows him. Everybody will follow whatever that person is doing. If that person suggests killing you, so far as that person is brave enough to take the action of killing you, your father and your mother will support him in doing so. Whether you like it or not. It is just a mental thing. It's just a self-esteem, emotion, jealous. It's not about greed, trying to extort you, trying to take your money so that they can build a house, so that they can live life. And no. It's not because of that. Of course, they are going to live a better life after fleecing you of your money, but that's not the point. So what is the solution to that? What are you going to do to that when such thing happen? Is that number one is to pitch a fight against them. If they have fleeced you of your money, probably, and you want to get that money back, right? You have to shift your attention from everything you are doing and focus it on them and go after them till you get your money. Are you ready to leave your job in America, leave your job in Canada, leave your job in Germany or UK to come to Nigeria and start fighting with people over $20,000, $50,000? I'm not saying the money is not big enough, but if you are ready to do that, of course, come. If you think they might confiscate it, they are not going to confiscate your papers. Why? It's not that they can't confiscate your papers or they can't do something to you or they can't harm you. No. What I'm trying to say is that these people, they have low self-esteem and they have a whole amount of fear. All they are trying to do is that the people who are usually the leaders of evil in every social circle, they are usually people full of fear. but they put on this mask of confidence to intimidate you. Okay? They put that mask of confidence. What you will do is that don't leak out your secret to them, don't give out to them. All you want to do is to be taken from them, taking their money, taking their finances, their energy, frustrating them, sending your lawyers after them, suing them to court, and eventually you will get your money back. So are you ready to invest that energy into the money you have spent, or they have fleeced off you? But the point is, it is going to require almost 100% of your attention. If you don't put in 100% of your attention, you are not going to get anything of it. That's it. You are not going to get anything of it. Why? Because they will be using some things. For example, let's say you have a job in US, and you want to run back you want to run back to continue doing your job. Of course, the police in Nigeria probably are not going to speed up the process, and court also delay things. And as well, the people you are trying to sue or prosecute in court as well, they might also be doing some things they might also be playing some tricks and gimmicks to to halt the speed of the case, or to halt the speed of the nemesis that's about to catch up to them. So you have to be ready, be patient enough, give your tenacity to make sure that just as they have intended to destroy you, you destroy them back. That's number one. Number two, the number two solution to it is that you have to be sensitive enough to know this. And for you to be sensitive enough to know this, you would have fallen victims of this several times. That is why it is good to expose yourself to the world while you are younger times, and so that all these hurts, all this bad behavior from people, you would have experienced it, and you would have known how to handle them. I learned this faster in my life. I experienced this firsthand while I was I think while I was 16. Was it 16? No, while I was 11. Yeah. While I was 11, I experienced it again at 13 years old. I experienced it again at 16 years old. And this was a case where after all the complications and all the conspiracy, right? I want to take NECO while I was 16. I wanted to take NECO exam while I was 16, and my mom said she was skeptical about about obtaining the form for me, and my dad actually told her not to do so for no reason, right? I rise above that, and I'm here today right now. But the point I'm trying to make here is that you have to know how to handle these things. So back to the second solution of this. The second solution is that you have to after giving in. So the second solution is to be sensitive and be able to know and identify people who are trying to do this harm to you. When you are able to identify them, you go right after them and start harming them socially as well. It doesn't have to be physical, right? But you have to start, because if you don't, they are going to if you don't beat them to surrender, you see, the goal of striking back at people who actually want to destroy you is to make sure that they disappear, and they are unable and they lack that courage to come close to you anymore. You have to make them disappear from wherever they are, and wherever the people you don't, your dad and mom, you wouldn't want to turn your back against them as well. And you know that they are going to be obeying and following whatever this guy that is antagonizing you, or this girl that is antagonizing you is doing. Right? So what would you do? You make sure that person run away from you and is doing anything in his power to stay away from you. When you do that, then you can gain the loyalty, the respect and attractiveness and the respect of your parents and your other family members. And he will be, you are the one that they want to isolate from the family, right? They want to persecute you. Then that person will be the one to have been persecuted, even before he has raised up any evil plan, when even when he is yet to execute his evil plan against you. That's the second one. And the third one is to be the big dog, right? Is to be the big dog. That person, that evil person who actually wants to be suppressing you so that you won't outshine him in the family, so that you won't be the glory of the family. At times you are not interested in being the glory of the family, but in their brain, it's narcissism. These people, that's all they know. They are always in competition with every other person. Okay? So what you have to do is try to be like that person. Is to try to be like that person. And when you become like that person, you will be the big dog making decisions, and anybody who is trying to do such kind of a thing, you will actually would have suppressed that person before that person even gets to that position that you have. But I will advise you not to be suppressing people. But anybody who tries to suppress you or try to drag you down from that position, you annihilate them. Try to do whatever you can to make sure that you get rid of them. It doesn't have to. I'm not saying you should kill people, but there are ways you can inflict pains on people. That person is trying to get a visa also to go abroad. Write petition to the immigration against them. Do all sort of things to frustrate their lives, because they are trying to frustrate yours too. Of course. So God will surely understand if you do that. So that's the second solution. You have to be sensitive and destroy your enemies before they destroy you. That's the second solution. And the third solution is to be the big dog, right? And take the position that your enemy is taking, so that he wouldn't be able to achieve that, get that power and have that influence over the people that you cherish so much to yourself and to your life, to the extent that he starts, talk less of that, he'll be having that influence over them to take them away from you and start turning them against you. That's the third one. And the fourth solution is to build yourself to be independent. I think this is peaceful and not toxic. This is the least toxic one. Is to build yourself, and build yourself so much that, and building yourself using this method usually requires a lot of patience. If you want to building yourself, meaning that you have enough money to sustain yourself without needing the help of any family. You have to create a new social cycle for yourself, that the people that will contain you, and the people who are loyal to you and are not going to betray you for no reason, for any reason whatsoever. So you have to do that. And as well, anything that you need your family to do, you have to be patient and look for someone else that will be loyal enough to do it. Even at times, your family can go to that person and try to badmouth you and try to convince that person to screw you up, or to harm you, or to take your money away. Let's say you want to build a house now, or to take your money away, or to cause you some land dispute issues, or put you into problems. You have to be patient enough to look for that person that will be able to handle your things properly, right? But a lot of people don't have that patience. Right? But if you have that kind of patience and you are able to find out the right person to do that for you, that person will always be at your service to do anything you want to do. And I can tell you that these people, they are usually able to fill in the gap that your family has created in your life. Even though a set of people usually say, nobody can be like your parent. Nobody, no, that's a lie. Your parents are just the biological entity that has brought you into this life. Okay, they being an aid to give you a better life doesn't depend on them. Some parents actually are able to double to be an agent of giving you a better life and also bringing you to this world. But at times, you might not find these two characteristics in a person or in your parents. You might only find one. So you have to know who your family are, or who the people you are dealing with are, right? And as well, this doesn't apply to family alone. It applies to friends as well. It applies to your place of work. A lot of people are not experiencing this in their family, but they are experiencing it in their place of work. So that is it. Another solution to this, which one have I just mentioned? So another solution to this is to cut ties with them. cutting ties with them, whether your family or your friends who are trying to isolate you, you isolate them first. If you isolate them first, they will keep coming back to you. Yeah, please, 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 And by as at then, when they are apologizing to you or try to take us back, we want to repeat such again, they are going to do it. But what you will do is like, just try to say, okay, I'm okay, no problem, we are still friends, But you will only say that by mouth and make them feel well, right? But never have anything to do with them anymore. Okay, so that's another. Isolate them totally and run away from them. If you know you can't face the fights and you can't cause the war with them and the fracas and destroy them. So that's another solution to it, is to cut them off right before they cut you off. Okay, and lastly, the solution to it is to play, and the last solution to it is to play power games. These power games, I don't like this method, but it is by trying to suppress, dim your light. When you do great things, you won't be showing it to them. When you have problems, you run to them. When you don't have problems and you are doing well, you pretend like as if you are having problem. You will always be calculating that, okay, you don't want that big dog or that evil leader of that social circle to be frustrating you. You wouldn't want to tamper his ego, right? That's the manipulative method. That's the power game. That's the power game, and all you will be doing is to wait for him to get to his weak points. Maybe something happens to him and he's not able to put all his energy in holding power, holding people in hostages and trying to destroy people's life. At times there will be some personal problems that he will be dealing with, and he wouldn't be able to attend to that thing, attend to frustrating you and giving you problems. That is the time that you have to strike and make sure that that problem that he's having naturally, you have to worsen it for him, and by then you will be able to you permanently or totally destroy your enemy, and he wouldn't be able to recover from it, and then you live a peaceful life. Okay, so that's it. You have to worsen their problem, wait for the time that they are having problem and worsen their problem. But before then, you have to be playing power games, you have to be playing mind games, you have to be making sure that you're not tampering their ego. And whenever you are able to strike them, make sure you destroy them totally. So that's the solution to it. If you have your family conspiring against you for whatever reason that your family is conspiring against you, make sure that you are, for whatever reason they are conspiring against you, that's the best solution to it. Those are the best ways to approach things. I'm sorry, this video might be crappy, but sorry, it's Ramadan time, man. But I don't want to forget doing this video, so that's it. And shout out to Franklin. His channel is doing really, really well. I love your contents. If you're a new viewer, kindly subscribe, like the video, and drop your comments in the comments section. Thank you.